Hey there, guys. It's been a while since I posted, but I thought I would do this. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. There we go. I just thought I'd show you. I'm wearing an Invisiskin hair system right now, and I'm about to take it off and trade it out for my other one. So I'm just going to show you what I do to take it off. And so I'm using the C22 release solvent. And what I do is I just take a Q-tip and I just moisten the Q-tip just enough. And then I just start, kind of find an open spot. You can kind of see it right here. And I just start rubbing in there, kind of turning it, and then I kind of run it up back and forth. And just keep rolling it a little bit back and forth and kind of sawing my way along the edge. And then that starts getting it off, and then when I feel like that's kind of worn, done its job, I do the other side, stick it back up in there, and I just keep going, kind of the sawing action up and down, but also twisting the Q-tip, as you can see there. And it does a pretty good job. Don't get solvent all over my body and all over the place, all over the sink and everything. So just keep doing that. And you can kind of watch your actions. Yeah, I've had this one on for about 2 weeks. I've tried to go 3 weeks, and it gets really hard. I mean, it gets difficult to do it. And I just keep I've just got like a little container of Q-tips. I keep it filled for any reason, just to redo my hairline or do this kind of thing. I just have them ready to go. And so, like I was saying, 2 weeks is well, 2 weeks is about all I can do. Now I've just decided. I've gone 3, I've gone 4, but it gets, by the end of 3 weeks, the sides where I have the tape and stuff gets really soft, and it starts to slide around a little bit, so it doesn't hold as well. And here's a spot I must have gotten some hair stuck in there, I can feel. And so I've just decided 2 weeks is really the max I'm going to do. So that's what I'm doing, just changing it out. It's been just a little over 2 weeks, actually. All right, kind of got that side done, almost around to the back. I'm going to try to get this side going. Just kind of stick it up in there. Yep, there we go. And you just kind of roll it back and forth and do a little sawing. Roll it, saw, and it comes off pretty well that way. It takes a little time. You don't want to do this fast anyway, because you can tear the Invisiskin pretty easily. In fact, this one has a tear like right here that I've kept. I can show you in a later video what I do with that, but I'll show that when I get this off. And so there's that one. And I just all I do is kind of put the Q-tip on the nozzle and just squeeze it till it's kind of soaked, and it might drip a little bit, which is fine. You can rub that in there. All right, find the opening here again. You can kind of see it. And what this does is it leaves the tape on the system, and then I go along. I'll show you what I do when I take the tape off the system. It does work pretty well. It's pretty easy on the system, I think, compared to like spraying the spray all over and getting it all over the hair and everything. Just takes a little work. That's it. But once you get it going, it like you can see it's moved along pretty quickly. So, and now I'm gonna start focusing on the front a little more. Go over to the other side. You can kind of see where my hair's grown back over here, and where I've shaved it off and it's grown back. So once in a while, if you can get it between the tape and the system, this still works, and then the tape is left on your head, and then you have to get it off. Either way, it's some work to get it off. So I'm going to stop the video now, and then I'm going to come back to this and while I work around the back. All right, I'm back, and I've got about I'm almost done with the back here. Just got about maybe like an inch left before I can get the back off, and then we'll proceed from there. So I'm just doing this blindly. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it loosen up. Oh, there it goes. And then you just pull it forward like this, and you can see where the tape is, and it's probably kind of yellowed. All right, and then I just start working this way. Actually, I'll put some solvent on that so it starts loosening it up. I'm not rushing it. I'm just letting the weight of the system kind of pull the hair down. That's why it takes a while. You don't want to pull on it. You really don't. Again, you can tear it pretty easily. So, and the cotton on the Q-tips does help kind of take some of the glue, the gum, the gunk off as you go along. Do one more here. Let it sit in there. Yeah, it's coming. I can feel it just coming right off. It's just coming right now. Just rub it with my finger here. Almost there. Here it comes. A little bit more. Yep, there we go. Look, see, there we go. And so, I don't know if you can see where the tape is around the edge here, but it does a nice job holding, the tape does. And then on the front, I actually tape it all the way up, and I kind of come across the front here, right here. And so I leave this for glue, and then I use a sort of I don't use the white glue. It doesn't really work well for me, at least with the Invisiskin. That's really more for like the Swiss lace that I use. But I kind of like the Invisiskin because you can stretch it a little more to fit better. It's easier to, I think it's easier to clean and take care of. I think it lasts a little bit longer. This one I've had a few months now, and I've kind of traded it out for the other one that I'm going to put on. And so I've been trying to trade them back and forth, with the COVID, and it's harder to get your systems. I've been getting mine again from MHE, and again, I don't work for them, but, they don't give me any money or anything, but I do suggest going to them. Curtis, the guy that runs it, the guy that owns it, is really good. He's the one that matched me, my hair and everything. And actually, I can't remember, this one or the other one is a little bit lighter because it's all they had. I think this one's a 1B, so it has some brown in it, which was my original hair color. You can see I'm pretty gray on the sides. I'm darker on the back. But when this is on, you can't tell the difference. And so he did a really nice job matching me. And that was just over a year ago. I've been wearing a system for a year, and I don't think I'll ever go back to not having hair. I mean, I'm tempted. There's days that I'm tempted, but my family's so used to it, and none of my students really know that I don't have hair. I'm a teacher, and most of my colleagues don't know that I don't really have hair. So it's not even noticeable. I mean, these are people that I didn't know a year ago, and I've never not had hair in front of them. And a year ago, I did this over winter break, Christmas break, and I went back to school and had hair, and people couldn't quite figure out what was different. It was kind of fun. So I suggest doing this, guys. There's no reason you can't do this. I mean, look, I'm pretty bald, and, thankfully God blessed me with a pretty decent shaped head. And I went, I shaved my head for years, and, I didn't look bad, but I look so much better with hair. and you know, people think I'm younger than I am, you know, and it's kind of a nice thing. And so I highly recommend at least trying it. You know, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I do wish there was an easier, better, permanent thing to do. The only thing I know of is getting a hair transplant, and I'm just not, that doesn't even, it doesn't always work. You know, it's a very expensive process and it doesn't always work. This is a decent alternative. I call it semi-permanent because you can keep it on for 2, maybe 3 weeks. But you know, having to, you know, have, you know, it doesn't always look good. You know, I can think of a lot of people that are famous. One of them ran for president this year, that had hair plugs, and you can tell. You can really tell. So it's not worth it to me. This works pretty well. It's easy. As long as I can get hair, you know, get my system, I'm good. You know, I've had to learn how to do all sorts of stuff, and I'm going to show you all sorts of stuff in a future video about, you know, how do I keep my bathroom set up, how do I keep my materials ready, and what happens when there's an emergency or there's an issue. So, you know, we'll go over that, you know, later, at a later time. I just wanted to show you how, you know, how I got this off. And now what I'll do is I'll pull up a little bit of the tape, and then because you can feel the glue on here, you can see that it's really sticky. And I'll pull up the tape, and I'll get one of the, you know, I'll get another Q-tip, and I'll kind of hang onto the tape, and kind of the same thing. The system, I'll pull on the tape. The weight of the system will pull on the tape. I don't have to pull the tape. All I do is I just keep this soaked, and I keep rubbing it along until the tape comes off. And then I just throw the tape in the garbage next to me. And then I use cotton balls to take off the glue on the front, and that works pretty good. And you can see, let's see if I can find it here. Where's that? I did such a good job covering it up, I can't find it. But there is a cut right here. Right there. I don't know if you can really see it. But what I do is I just cut a small piece of tape, and I put that over that, and that kind of holds it together. And I just make sure there's no hair sticking through. So you can see it's still in pretty good condition. I've had it for a while. And so it's, you know, it's holding up pretty well. But it's getting short. So there is that. So stay tuned, and maybe I'll do a little more and show you how I take the tape off. All right, so I just wanted to show you, you know, how I get the tape up. And you can kind of see here, the tape is kind of hanging down right here. And so I'm going to try to get that piece going. And so I'm just going to pull on it a little bit. It's right on the edge, so I don't want to pull hard, because again, I don't want to tear the system. But if I can just get it up and going, because I've overlapped these. Sometimes I don't overlap them. It makes it easier to get them off later. Here's one that's coming, so you can kind of see. I don't know if you can see that. It's coming up. If I can just get it going, I can get a Q-tip in there and then start getting it going. So let me do that. See if I can show that to you. So I've got that little part kind of pulled up, and I'm going to stick a Q-tip in there and just start rubbing it back and forth, trying to get it worked more under there, and just try to get it going here. And this actually is a spot where 2 pieces of tape are coming together, so it shouldn't be too hard to get them apart. But you just keep kind of working it, pushing it. There, I got it through. All right, so now I just need to find the end. Oops. Getting hair overlapped here. There we go. And I usually don't do this like this. I usually do it like on the counter. But you can see where where I got it through. Here, I'll put the Q-tip in there. You can kind of see where I got it through there, all right? And then I'll just keep working it back and forth. I'm gonna put a little more juice on this, all right? It's like that one wore out on the back. Here we go. All right. And then get that back in there and just start working it across. There's where they came together. See if I can get them pulled apart here. And I might just get a nice long one out of this, we'll see. So now I'm gonna hold this. Yeah, I can see where they came together here. So I'm gonna hold this and just keep turning, and it's just kind of taking the glue off. You can kind of see it coming loose. There we go. All right, and then I can go back to this side. So now I've got, and so this is like nice and clean now, right here. This part right here is nice and clean. So I'm gonna get another Q-tip and I'm gonna start working it on the counter. All right, I just wanted to show you how I did that. All right, so I've got this one going here. You can kind of see the tape. Now the tape gets really slippery with the C22 on it. So then I just take this and I just rub it. And like I said, the weight of the system will kind of pull while I rub it with the C22 with the Q-tip. You can kind of see it coming apart there. Show you. This just seems to be an easier way to do it. And now I'm right at the end, and there's the tape. It came off. It's two pieces right there, and I just put them in the garbage. And then again, this is the edge here. Then is nice and clean. It doesn't have any. I don't have to go back with the cotton balls and clean that off. I just have to focus on the front with that. So now I have another piece of tape here. I'm gonna try to get it going here. And you can see I pulled it up a little bit. If I can get a grip on it, I can start rubbing. So that's just like the corner. That's just to get it started. I'm gonna change Q-tips here in just a second. But now I've got it going here. You can kind of see it hanging off. And again, you gotta, like, I have to stick my fingernail into my finger to hold it, to clamp it down. Otherwise it gets really slippery and you're dropping it. You're dropping the system all the time. So let me get another Q-tip here and keep going. And while, you know, yeah, this is somewhat time consuming, it probably took me about overall maybe 10 minutes to get the system off my head. And then there's just the cleaning up. You don't want to, I left it on one for a while and that really didn't help. In fact, it was this one. I just let it sit there upside down on my mannequin head, and you know, I just sat there for a while I wore a different one. And I still was able to get it off and everything, but it just took longer. So the sooner you do it, probably the better. And yeah, it's a little time consuming, but you know, I think it's worth it. You know, if you want to look good, taking care of your stuff is a good idea. So I stored my other one. I went online and found a video. I think it was a guy named Jake, and he showed what he does to store his, because I've been wondering about that. If I got another system and I was able to store it, how would I store it? And so I just kind of did his suggestions. So that's what I'm going to pull out today to put on. And so we'll see how that goes, see what it looks like. Didn't really get it clamped in there. But I just go around and I do that around the whole thing till all the tape is off, and then I'll move to the front. And so I'll come back and move to the front. All right, so now I'm working on the front. So I've got all the tape off the edges. This side was really kind of hard. You can see where it's kind of worn here, where some of the hair is gone, and I'll trim that off actually later. But right on the front, you can see, you can't really see it, but you can, if I stick my finger on it, you can see it. You can also see the tear that I made right here. Yeah, and then if I use this one again, I'll just cover that up with a piece of tape. I'll show you how to do that. So now I'm going to use the cotton balls, and I'm going to you tap the cotton balls on the glue and you rub, all right? And that's how you get it off. Most of you probably know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, Curtis at MHE has like 350 videos on how to do all this stuff. I'm just showing you what I do, what I've learned in the past year doing all this. So, you know, this is what works for me. What Curtis does, you know, is great advice and great, you know, he's been doing this way longer than me. But you just kind of, you know, as you go along, you kind of play with it and you kind of figure out what works for you, like the whole, the Q-tips, you know, rubbing the Q-tips along the edge, doing that little saw action. That really works better for me than anything else has. And so I'm going to continue to do that, but that might not work for you. You might be using a different glue, a different solvent. So, you know, you might just learn as you go. You know, part of it's just trying stuff and knowing that people like Curtis or even myself are out there to kind of coach you if you need it. You know, we're here. So, and I know Curtis is, because you can text him and he'll almost text you immediately back. So anyway, just want to put that out there. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the front of this right now. All right, so I've got a cotton ball, and so all I do is I go along the front edge. This is the front edge. But I'll wash this and condition it, actually. Let it dry, and then I'll store it. I'll put some, after I've washed it, conditioned it, let it dry, I'll put some leave-in conditioner in it, and I'll put it in a plastic bag, and then I'll put it back in its box on its form that's in the box. And just leave it for now. And that's what I learned to do, and we're gonna see if that paid off. This is the first time I've done it. I did it with the other system I have that I'm gonna put on. So when I pull that out of the box, you'll be able to see what it looks like. All right, so there you go. It's all clean. It just needs to be washed, and then I put it on my mannequin head, wash it. I'll condition this since I'm going to store it, and then after it's dry, put some leave-in conditioner on it, and then just put it in a plastic bag on the form and stick it in the box, and it'll store for a while. I may wear this one again. We'll see. But we're gonna pull the other one out and see how that one's looking. And so I'll wash this and take care of that, and I'll get my head cleaned up as well. So thanks for watching. Hi guys, I thought I'd show you how I get my head clean now that I've taken off the system. I've got a cotton ball and I've got my solvent. I'm just gonna put a little solvent on the cotton ball and just kind of rub it where the glue was. Actually, my head's pretty clean this time. I don't have a lot of glue residue left behind because I took it off right about 2 weeks. If I'd left it on there longer, it would have the glue would have softened up and really stuck to my head and been like in my hair. But it's not doing that this time because I think I learned that, take it off a little earlier. But you can see this will get some of the dirt off as well. You can kind of see that. All right. And so now, I don't feel a lot of gunk on my head. So what I'll do now is I'll wash my head in the sink. Hang on just a second. I got this thing when I bought some body scrub, and I use this. It really gets any of the residue off. And then I use good old Dawn dish detergent. It gets the oil off as well, but it's not harsh on your skin. I use this side to just kind of buff, and if I get some water going, just put a drop or two on there, not much. All right, then I just kind of rub it around the edge where the system was, and just kind of exfoliate the top of my scalp as well. And I think another reason, I know Curtis says that another reason to do it like every 2 weeks is just hygiene. And I've noticed when I've left it on longer, it kind of smells. And so, I think you're at risk of getting some kind of a fungal infection or something. And then you're out of it because you won't be able to wear your system for a while till like it's cleared up. So you don't want that to happen. I haven't had that happen, but I mean, I think the potential is there. So then I just rinse it. And then I have a towel right back here hanging on my door because it's right by the sink. And there we go. My head's nice and clean now. I'm actually going to go out for a walk. So I'm going to put a hat on, and then I'll come back. I'll trim it up, take a shower because we're going to a friend's house. Don't tell anybody. And that's that. It's pretty simple. You can see where my hair's kind of grown in here, and I'll trim that off. I have this groomer that I use, and then I probably won't do it this time, but I often will take an actual razor and some shaving cream and shave my head. I use a mirror, within the mirror, and so I can see what I'm doing. So you can kind of, see that it's nice and clean right now. So life is good. I'm gonna get my new system out here. The next video is going to be getting the system out and putting the new system, or the semi-new system on. And hopefully it'll look good. Hopefully it's stored well. It's only been in storage for maybe a month. I think about a month. So, we'll see how it goes. So, thanks. So the whole system, taking it off, getting it cleaned off, and then washing my head and all that. I think the total amount of time that I just took was probably about 45 minutes total. So, really, you gotta give yourself some time. It's Saturday morning. I haven't shaved. You can, see. So, but I'm just saying, it doesn't take an extravagant amount of time after you get used to doing it. At first, it might feel like a long time, but once you know what you're doing, you can move. Once you've done it a while, a couple of times, you'll get a hang for it, and it'll go faster. And so, I think 45 minutes to get that off, cleaned, and clean my head. That's 45 minutes is pretty good. I think before I was probably taking an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So, you get better, it gets easier. So you just got to practice, and ask questions, it's EduCat for a reason, because I'm an educator and I want people to learn stuff. And so you're here because you want to maybe learn something. And hopefully you are learning something. Otherwise, like I said before, Curtis at MHE, he's got tons of videos, at least 350 videos of just different things you might come across, different things of what to do. And so really, really good stuff there. And he's got good products too. He's got his own products. He's really tested them and looked at them, and he's made them, I believe they're animal friendly and that kind of stuff. So that he's really taken that stuff in and made it work. And so when I order my next system, I'm also going to order, he's got a glue that he just came out with. It's probably similar to this. This is the Walker Ultra Hold. It works really well on Invisalign, the Invisalign systems. And so, that's why I use it. The other stuff, the white glue, the Ghost Bond, works great for my Swiss lace. When I wear a Swiss lace, it works great for that. And so, I think the difference is, someone was asking me, which do you like better? I like them about the same. I think the Swiss lace, I really like the way that looks. I like the way that the Invisalign, or the Invisalign, Invisiskin looks a little better. Hairline wise, it's not as visible. Both of them work really well for doing this. And so guys, if you are thinking about doing this, there's no reason you can't do it. I mean, I don't have the perfect temples. I wish I kind of had hair, my hair would go like this, to kind of come to the temple. And maybe that's just, maybe I just need to do a new template or something, but it works, what I've done works well for me. And so that's what I'm saying. You learn how to do it. And if you're like me, I'm lucky. I have 2 weeks off in the winter, and last year that's what I did. I had the very first day of break, I went, put my system, I had my stylist put my system on, and she cut it, and it looked fantastic. Go back and see my earlier videos. It looked fantastic, and she's done a good job ever since. She doesn't do this as, it's her living is hairstyling. It's not, doing the systems on men. I do sometimes wonder if I went to someone who specialized in that, maybe it would look a little better, but man, I think it looks great. And so I keep going to her. She's great. And she's always willing to learn. The next time I go, she's going to put it back on again because she wants to practice that. She is hoping that she'll get some more people that maybe want to do this. And so, I keep helping her. It's all about learning. It's all about teaching. It's all about, doing it and getting other people to do it. There's no reason you can't go around with a head of hair. People aren't looking at me. They don't look at me. They don't look and see if I've got a hairline, because who does that? No one does that. Most of the people, even my family, when they see me without my hair, my family is probably the only people that see me without my hair now, and they're like, put it on, and it usually looks good. It looks normal for the most part. And I look at other guys' hairlines just to see, Curtis always says there's not the perfect hairline. There's not, guys. People with natural hair have hairline issues, so people just see hair. They don't really see the whole, they'd have to be really close to you to see this. All right. I mean, they'd have to be like that close to see anything. And so I promise you guys, it's worth it. It is worth it to walk around with hair in your head. Have a great day.